Senate Democrats get real good news out of the state of New Jersey as Tammy Murphy drops out of the Senate race. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back again with a new video, and today it is time to talk about the 2024 U.S. Senate election in the great state of New Jersey, because everyone, First Lady Tammy Murphy has officially ended her Senate bid this year. That's right, everyone. The once very competitive primary on the Democratic side, it's all but over, as Andy Kim, at this point in time, is going to be the Democrat nominee for the Senate race. Now, there were many questions about this race, including with Bob Menendez, including with this primary, but it seems like with Tammy Murphy dropping out, Congressman Andy Kim is more than likely going to be the next senator. Now, before we continue with today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Again, folks, all support is greatly appreciated, and yeah. Now, let us get right into it because this is significant. Now, to be clear, it was very unlikely from the get-go that a Republican could even win this seat. But there was that possibility with the Democratic primary being a mess and with big questions surrounding Bob Menendez and what he's going to do. Point is, there was a possibility Republicans could have won this seat. But now that Andy Kim is all but going to be the nominee, I highly doubt that's going to happen. New Jersey First Lady Tammy Murphy announced Sunday that she'll withdraw from the Democratic Senate primary, likely paving the way for Democratic Representative Andy Kim to secure the nomination. After many busy and challenging months, I am suspending my Senate campaign today, Murphy said in a video posted to social media. I've been genuine and factual throughout, she continued, but it is very clear to me that continuing this race will involve waging a very divisive and negative campaign, which I'm not willing to do. And that's the reason why she's dropping out. Listen, if they had no fear that the seat could maybe flip red this year, she would probably stay in the race because the Democrat establishment, especially New Jersey, wants Murphy. That's a fact. They've been wanting her for a while now, but they must realize, okay, Andy Kim is better than a potential Republican winning. Because if this primary continued, they would spend tens of millions of dollars on this race. It would be a shit show. But secondly, Tammy Murphy, if she was the nominee, would risk a lot of support being drained from voters that just don't like her. And if you include a third-party vote with Bob Menendez and say Republicans run a halfway competent campaign, and suddenly you realize, oh wait, a Republican could win this seat. It's unlikely even in this scenario, but there was a legitimate pathway. And they must have gotten some polling data to indicate, okay, there's something happening here. We got to end this primary ASAP to not risk anything this fall. Because I highly doubt that if that wasn't the case, Murphy would have dropped out. If they had polling data to prove that, oh, even if Menendez runs, we're still going to win, she would probably be in the race the entire time. But they must have gotten some data to realize, okay, let's end this. Let's not run the risk of, hey, maybe a Republican could win. I'm making this decision because this campaign has never been about me. And right now I know the best thing we can do for New Jersey is to unite and focus on the real issues at hand, she added. Murphy did not endorse Kim in the 3-minute video. Kim called Murphy a voice for progress and public service in our state in a statement obtained by NBC News after Murphy's announcement. Oh yeah, sure. After all the attacks against each other, now they're best friends. Yeah, right. Tammy and I both agree that it is critical that we keep this seat and the Senate in Democratic control, Kim added. Unity is vital. We will continue our efforts to strengthen our democracy in New Jersey while we come together to stand up against the dangerous agenda pushed by Trump. Of course you had to bring up Donald Trump. I mean, really? This has nothing to do with Trump, but somehow Trump is involved with this race now. I mean, it's unbelievable that Democrats' only attack line is Orange Man bad. I mean, it's 2024. You're telling me you can't think of anything other than quick, attack Orange Man when Tammy Murphy dropped out. What does Trump have to do with Tammy Murphy? And of course, he had to mention democracy. Murphy made the decision after she and her advisors concluded that her path to victory in the June 4th Democratic primary was limited, even unwinnable, a source close to the Murphy campaign told NBC News. Her announcement came on the eve of the state's primary filing deadline. But Murphy maintained her conversation Sunday with campaign staff, party leaders, and supporters that her campaign still had a path forward, but that would have involved spending a large amount of money against a fellow Democrat, according to a source familiar with those conversations. And that's why she's out. Andy Kim was picking up steam a little bit, but the Democrat establishment was considering, at least according to Murphy, might spend a couple $1,000,000 trying to defeat Andy Kim. But they've realized, okay, what happened with Republicans in Arizona, Ohio, etc. in 2022, we can't let that happen here. Especially in a safe Democrat state with a third-party candidate looming and Republicans potentially running someone halfway decent. Yeah, let's not do that. Murphy said such a divisive primary could hurt the party this year and moving forward, with New Jersey hosting an open race for governor next year, the source added. Her husband cannot seek another term due to term limits. Thank God for New Jersey, by the way, because Phil Murphy sucks. He is one of the worst governors in America, and there's a reason he nearly lost in 2021. He is not liked even in New Jersey. The First Lady's campaign drew some criticism, with many frustrated by the optics of her husband, Governor Phil Murphy, pushing his wife's candidacy. And I agree. You probably shouldn't be allowed to be the governor, senator, or whatever, and try to push your wife, your daughter, whoever, to be the next senator of the state. Probably not a good idea. There's definitely some questions surrounding, hey, does this seem wrong to you? But to me, it kind of does. That, combined with Kim decisively winning against Murphy in several county conventions this month, proved to be the fatal blow to her candidacy. And the county system in New Jersey was Murphy's last hope. And for those that don't know, New Jersey has a real bizarre system where essentially the county parties, they can choose who you vote for. Not directly, but there's a separate ballot where you can just vote for whoever the party wants you to vote for. It's a very corrupt system and should come as no surprise as, hey, this is New Jersey. But either way, a lot of people thought Murphy was going to do good at these county conventions, and she didn't. She won a couple, but she needed to do very good in these, and she just wasn't. I mean, Andy Kim won a couple of them by surprising margins and just outright winning areas that he probably shouldn't. Either way, this campaign was a disaster from the get-go, and I was hoping for Tammy Murphy to be the Democrat nominee because of that. If she was the nominee, I think Republicans would have had a much easier path to victory than against Andy Kim, especially with Bob Menendez. But now it's Andy Kim. I highly doubt Republicans can win this race. Even if Bob Menendez does run, which I think he will, Andy Kim is well liked within the Democrat Party. Well, Murphy, not so much. She's liked by the establishment, but the progressive base hates her. A lot of voters do not like her in the state of New Jersey. So there are many questions surrounding the race, but at this point in time, the 10% chance Republicans had at winning the seat, it's probably gone. But now all eyes are focused on Bob Menendez. What does he do? Will he actually pull the trigger on running as a third-party candidate, trying to win another term? Now, I don't think so at this point. Like, he still might just as a FU to the Democrat Party. But I just don't see him having any support. Against Tammy Murphy, there might have been some Democrats that voted for Menendez as a protest. But against Andy Kim, not so much. But either way, I do think that New Jersey Democrats, just the Democrats as a whole, dodged a fat bullet with this one. A, no divisive primary, but B, which is most importantly, they don't have to worry about Tammy Murphy potentially losing. So it's a win-win for Democrats, kind of an L for the Republican Party, but it's one of those seats that even if Murphy was the nominee, the Republicans needed someone like Jeff Van Drew to run, and then Bob Menendez actually pull the trigger on a re-election campaign. But neither of those are happening, especially Jeff Van Drew. He's not running, sad, but Bob Menendez, he might still run. But even at this point, with Andy Kim being the nominee, you don't have to worry about the divisive primary. Don't have to spend that much money in the primary. Don't think it's going to happen that a Republican can somehow win. But in my opinion, the biggest takeaway from Tammy Murphy dropping out is, hey, the Democrats care about winning while the Republican Party doesn't. I mean, you would never see a Republican ever do this. That's a fact. Unless they're at 2%, then they might drop out. You would never see, say, a Frank LaRose type, when everyone knows he's going down in flames, drop out and endorse someone else. You would never see that. Democrats, though, they care so much about winning that they're willing to just suspend their campaign for the greater good. The Republican Party would never do that, and I think they should start doing that. Like, hey, in 2024's Ohio Senate race, Bernie Moreno was surging, and he won by, almost 30 points. So what was the point of the primary? When he started to surge, LaRose and Dolan should have gotten out. Because LaRose was sinking, and Dolan, his surge, well, wasn't a real surge. It was a mythical surge that never happened. The Republican Party should do more of this, like Democrats do. I mean, the Democrat establishment, they wanted Murphy. But they care so much about winning, it's like, okay, whoop-de-doo. We don't get our establishment pick, but we still get someone that votes with us like 99% of the time. So why should we continue this race when we know there's a big risk that a Republican could win with Bob Menendez running, with a divisive primary? So let's put an end to the primary months before it even happens, before we have to spend $50 million. Man, that's a real smart party. I wish the Republican Party would do the same thing in Arizona, in Nevada, wherever, because this needs to happen more often to stop these divisive primaries from destroying the party from within. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy this video, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Thank you so much. Godspeed to all of you.